investigation is very important. There was a court case, and it was Josh Albrighton, Albritton, versus the state of Arizona. And what you want to find out is what this court case was about and what was the final outcome. And you want to make sure you get Josh Albrighton's take on that himself, because that's where the good information is going to come from. If you research this information on the computer and just look at paperwork, then you are not going to get a full explanation, and you will not have reached the conclusions and expanded your consciousness to the necessary levels. So you want to make sure you take a four-dimensional approach to all of these investigations, especially that one. And then, as you know, I put this in the course, but what are the karmic effects of doing your job right by the book? There is actually software that you can make where you just scan what the protocol of your job is, and it'll come up right on the computer whether you're going to reincarnate or make it to a higher level of existence, just with that information. And that software is, it's not out there right now, because obviously they would cover that up. But basically, reincarnation is a problem that 9 out of 10 human beings have been experiencing on this planet, and have been experiencing this problem for thousands of years. We haven't been moving up the ladder. We've just been, living lifetime after lifetime of slavery, and that is very easy software for a software engineer to put together. And I am more than happy to work with anyone who decides to run with that to determine that. And then you'd also want to, with that software, translate the protocol of the occupation into a visible karmic pattern, and that can be done with a graph, just a picture, and you'll be able to see it right there. And then we also want to create software on this computer, and I'm kind of getting out of, well, it's part of the superpowers. I'm the linguistics, but we want to create software that will produce and translate any document in any language to the lexicon for a living being. And also, we want to make sure this website is equipped so that you can just punch your name in and it prints you out an ID card in the lexicon for a living being. So if you want to board a spaceship, so if we evolve to the point, and the human race does a good enough job, and we evolve to the point where we actually expand our consciousness to the point where we get beamed up and travel to another galaxy, well, we're all set to do so, and we want to equip this website to do that. The sacred geometry, I already went over that. And in regards to the laws of creation, the laws of the universe, and the laws of nature, you want to definitely ask the questions according to who and compared to what. And there will be a lot of information, and that's going to take some very, very, very complex stuff and just simplify it for you. And you're just going to be, and it's going to take a lot of information that much of the human race thinks is beyond them, or it's none of their business, and it's just going to put it right down in plain Jane terms and make it easy to see. And there's a lot more investigations to do, but that's enough for now, and we'll see how where we go with all that stuff. And but I have tons more investigations to do, but I could talk till I'm blue in the face, but unless the human race runs with it, nothing's gonna happen. So we'll just start off with that, and that's good enough for now. So that for now completes this. So we got sacred geometry, spiritual development, course in sainthood, inventions, complete for now, until you tell me where you want me to go with that next. Then the next one we're going to talk about superpowers now. We're going to complete this link. So, the definition of super: very good, excellent, or pleasant. Power: the capability of accomplishing something. And then you put the definition together, and that word, the superpower word, together, and it makes superpower. And you have the capability of accomplishing something very good, excellent, or pleasant. And that's just simple English language. And you know, people think, oh, I don't have superpowers. Well, you could if you want. That's the English language, and that's what it means. So, and every person on the planet has the ability to do that. But what we're doing here is we're trying to simplify all this interdimensional galactic information into a very simple form so you can exhibit as much superpowers as you possibly can. So, the next word we need to understand is psychokinesis, the direct influence of mind on the physical realm, and is an umbrella term for various related specialty abilities. Extrasensory perception, or ESP, information sensed with the mind. Psychic ability, the ability to perceive information hidden from the normal senses through ESP. Magic, control and communication with supernatural agencies or the forces of nature. And then you got black magic and you got white magic. And what we're focusing on here is white magic. When you're using black magic, what you're doing is imposing your will on the reality, and that causes a negative karmic effect, and we do not want that. We want white magic, where you use love and intelligence. And then supernatural, that which is not subject to the laws of nature. And we're all looking to become supernatural, so we need to know what the laws of nature are so that we can go beyond them. And then, on this link here, we want to be able to click on whatever superpower you're willing to activate, and that is going to guide you with technology and truth to strengthen that superpower and that skill. So the first one that most human beings are going to activate or already have activated in this dimension is a highly telepathic dimension. The dimension I came from, pretty much no one was telepathic. Everyone was really separate and really dumbed down. But telepathy is extremely important because you want to know if people are being honest with you or not. Because right now a lot of people are just being dishonest with everybody. So telepathy is the first thing that you want to become familiar with. Plus, all the saints and angels and Kachinas and all those guys, they're all telepathic, and you want to be able to, once you activate your pineal gland and strengthen your telepathic ability, you'll be able to interact with these beings on a very high level. So what is telepathy? The transmission of thoughts, ideas, and emotions between two or more entities through means other than sensory perception, or other than normal sensory perception. Okay. And I chose these superpowers just because they're pretty cool. I mean, and I think there's around 80 something of them, but I just chose the ones that I think that I want to activate the most, and I think that probably most people would be interested in activating. The next one is channeling or mediumship. the act or practice of serving as a medium through which a spirit guide communicates to living beings interdimensionally. And that is, you know, that's done telepathically, and you're in the middle of two dimensions, acting as a medium. Now, and that right there is going to, we're gonna juice up that superpower here. So everything's interrelated here. But if we set this quantum computer up and this website up to access different dimensions, then we can all act as a medium with technology. And we want to bring this technology forward. This is technology, I mean, the technology exists, it's already there, it's already happening, it's just all covered up and nobody knows about it. So, we need the human race to unite, bring it forward. Okay, the next one, levitation. The rising of the physical body into the air by magical means, which includes flying. Now, I have flown twice in two different ways. One way was I actually switched dimension and took off in the physical and flew across town, and it was actually right here at this house in a different dimension. This house exists interdimensionally, and what I did was I traveled to another dimension where I was still here in the physical, and I flew right across town. It took so much energy that I actually passed out in the process of flying and crash landed into some guy's backyard. And on my way out the back, on my way out, his motion sensor light went on, and he ran out wondering what I was doing in his backyard. And no way was he going to believe I just flew in there. I could barely believe it at the time, so I just told him it was getting dark and I got lost in the woods and I was just using his yard to come out. But flying is absolutely real. Every single being on this planet can do it, and this website and the information that I'm bringing out will hopefully help you understand and believe that. And then there was another form of flying I did called soul projection, and that's where my consciousness actually physically left my body, and when I came out of my body it felt like pins and needles, and my body actually physically raised up off the mattress, and then when my soul came out I popped back down. And I'm looking back down at my body thinking, I wonder if I can just shoot out in the universe, and at that point I shot 3/4 of the way to the moon. And at the time that I did this, I was able to see up, down, left, right, front and back simultaneously, so spherical vision. And that was probably one of the most, well, it was just one of the many spectacular experiences I've had in this life. But that's another way you can do it. And then another way you could do it is through shape-shifting and turning into a being, or a bird, or a dragon, or anything that can fly, a flying squirrel. But those are 3 different ways you can fly. But the fact of the matter is, the human race needs to know you can fly and needs to practice that and spiritually develop to the point where we can actually do these abilities at will. So the website will be set up for that. Cryokinesis, the ability to create ice or low temperatures, and that I actually experienced one time. I had that done on me, and I'm not going to get, and that gets into a pretty controversial situation, so I'm not going to elaborate too much more, other than the fact that I can tell you that is real because I've experienced that on my physical body. Next one, pyrokinesis, the ability to create and control fire in high temperatures. And that I have never done myself, but I saw someone do it. I met a being, and I was at a bar with him, and he pulled out a cigarette and stuck it in his mouth, and then I reached in my pocket to grab a lighter to light it for him, and then he pulled out a lighter, held it upside down, and just waved it past his face looked right at me, and then the cigarette lit up. And he never flicked the lighter.